Do we have any of these linguistic or Creole related changes when it comes to something like Junkanoo?
And so I think Junkanoo is the penultimate expression of it, to be honest. It is a place where you get those freedom chants. You get that kind of ring play action. You get that community love and respect because each Junkanoo group has their own language as well. And I try to, I'm not a Junkanooer or like Angelique McKay would say a Junkanoo. I still don't understand how they get a Junkanoo because I would think a Junkanooer would be like the word, but they use Junkanoo as a noun. And see, it's a noun for the parade. It's a noun that means a person who participates in Junkanoo. I don't understand how we got there linguistically. However, that's what they say. I would say you are a Junkanooer.
Okay.
But they would tell me that's incorrect grammatically. And I am like, okay, I don't belong. I don't be in the shack shooting with y'all in the shack. I don't be there with the glue gun. So what you tell me, that's what it is.
Mhm.
You ain't cuss me because I want to tell you what you is, but you would tell me use a Junkanoo. Mm-mm.
Okay.
You never heard that. But each one of those shacks, they have their own language. They have their own sayings. They have their own calls. They have their calls and response. And so when you are there, and let's say you from Mason Edition, so you are hardcore Saxon, or you from the Valley, it's the history of those communities in one space. It is the contributions to society of those religious people, the non-religious people, the creative people, the professional people, the white collar people, the blue collar people, and your Grammy
Right.
and her, all in those community shacks. And so they have their own things that they say, they have their own languages. And I love the fact that we're in a place where we not only respect them, but we value them. We value them so much that when you hear those names, even with some of the upstart groups like Genesis, you appreciate them because of what they represent for the communities they're a part of.
Mhm. I realized that I asked you about Junkanoo and we didn't define it for the listening audience. I asked you because I'm curious and I know what it is, but can you please tell our audience about the splendor of Junkanoo?
So I'm going to give you a working definition for the purposes of this conversation. So Junkanoo is the largest cultural expression of the Bahamas. As a cultural expression, the largest display of this is a parade that takes place on Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas, and then again on New Year's Day. It originates from a parade that took place from enslaved peoples who were given that day after the day after Christmas as an off day. So they took it so that they would be able to use the extra boxes or whatever supplies that they have and integrate that into the John Canoe festival that we celebrated around the same time of the year. And so to mock the former slave masters and as a sign of freedom, they would paint their faces and they would dress up in, let's say, the whatever they could find. So that would be cloth, scraps. They would have like coconut fronds. They would have whatever was available, and they would take whichever musical instruments they had, or they could create like the cowbells, the goatskin drums. You would take the poinciana maracas, the poinciana seed pods for the maracas is that you made out of them. And they would organize themselves into groups and create music and just dance and make their chants as they went through the streets. Um, Over time, it's progressed into the use of newspapers and paper mache, colorful paints. And now we have like really, really ornate displays using crepe paper, colorful crepe paper, which you call shiny objects and tricks and sequins. And now we have like 3D and 4D displays with new instruments called the kunkalakas. And if you come at the end of the year, then you're in for a treat because the whole season really and truly is focused along the Junkanoo Festival here in the Bahamas. But if you come during the summer, we have the Junkanoo Summer Festival. All of our big events, national celebrations feature Junkanoo groups and that expression simply because we say we out here, we outside, this us here. Yeah, making plenty noise.
I encourage everyone listening to, at some point in their life, to witness Junkanoo because
Yeah.
it's absolutely beautiful